chat room that I have. Now you have an interactive piece. Okay. Now, if Lisa in L.A. types in, yeah, Jay-Z, I love you, blah, 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 and Jay-Z, yo, I see my girl Lisa in L.A., she, she blah. Now, Lisa in L.A. is losing it
Right.
at that particular point, and even you playing with Stevie, okay, you're leveraging that. That's what you do in this business. That's what you do. The thing is that you got a lot of people who, you got some kids who play sax all over this country. And okay, yeah, Stevie Wonder sax player is going to be online, and he's going to be answering questions and blah 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 blah. The point is that the thing that I think that artists have to start to look at is that now you're not going to be making money off of your music as much as you are going to be making money off of what your music makes you, who you become because of the music. That's what that thing said. The enemy is obscurity.
Right.
If nobody knows who you are,
right. And
it doesn't pay.
And it's also about learning to build a brand and not just being...
That's
who
the opposite,
controls the brand. See, if Airborne is controlling, and it's $1 to you, and they're making the connection for you, right? An advertiser is going to take note when you have 1,000 people who are vibing you at $1 a month.
Right.
And they're going to want a piece of that. Who gets that advertising dollar? Ryan Kilgore or Airborne?
Airborne.
That made it happen.
It's the same way with YouTube.
And it's right, or someone who's blogging or podcasting, and advertisers are picking it up. That money's not coming to the podcaster necessarily, or the blogger.
The content. Example: a couple of weeks ago, a week or so ago, there was a video that went viral where this little boy was outside on the tricycle and a dog attacked him and the cat chased the dog away.
I saw that.
You saw that? Okay. When you go to, so now it's on YouTube, they got, I don't know how many million hits, but now you got a commercial that comes on before that where you get the option to skip the ad, but
After 4 seconds of the ad.
right. But somebody's paying to be on that video.
Right.
And the person who put the video up there, like what Jerry's saying, is not getting a penny from the content.
Well, they are at that point. I think it's, and I could be
They can
wrong,
opt in.
I think it's like 100,000 hits. Then they start paying you, but it's still a very minimal,
small amount.
Small amount.
Yeah.
But
You
But I've heard of people.
0.999%.
The content that you are putting out, you have to be very careful as the songwriter and the artist for your brand.
Right.
You have to protect that brand because nobody's going to protect it for
I
you,
think-
and everybody wants a piece of
I
it.
think in the end, what's going to wind up happening is on the marketing, all the things that the artists are now having to do on their own. I think sooner or later, the artists, since they're creative people, they're going to eventually figure out a way to deal with this situation because they're going to have to. They're going to have to. I mean, if they're going to eat, they're going to have to figure something out. I mean, you've got, what you're trying to do in terms of, okay, well, when I do my record, this is the business model I'm using for a record. I'm pulling cats in, and you're going to get paid for it. Now, I remember when Van Halen was saying, well, yeah, everybody in Van Halen gets paid off of every song, no matter who writes it. And I remember people thinking, man, that's crazy. It's not so crazy now.
No, it's not.
No.
Because I wish more. I mean, we would think differently if we had money in our pocket.
Exactly.
You would think business if you were a businessman. I mean, Jay-Z says, I'm a businessman. You know what I mean? And
Right.
so when that's the other aspect is, when I think about my family in itself, my dad was a musician, my stepfather was a musician, but no one ever was doing it for a career. They were just playing at church, playing weddings, doing this whole type of thing.
For the love of it. I guess.
For the love of it, and so there's that, especially coming from a church standpoint.
Oh, yeah.
Are you playing for God? Are you playing for Jesus? But the Bible says a man don't work. He
Please
don't
don't
eat.
get me started.
You know what I mean? so everybody wants you to do something for free.
Oh,
I have
man.
friends now that hit me up on Facebook, and they say, "Can you play a song for such and such? How much you gonna charge me?" What are you talking about? Like, don't come at me like that. You know what I mean? Because this is what I do for a living, and I have bills and I have things too. And if I'm doing everything for free, I already give back to the kids. But you want me, but you want this amazing moment for your fiance or situation, but you don't want to pay my worth or that type of situation.
Right.
So-
You're already getting it at a discount.
I mean,
Even
wow.
when you pay, you're already getting it at a discount.
Yeah. So I guess from that standpoint, it's like, man, I don't. People. Let me see. How do I say it? It's like the we get taught to be musicians and that's it. You don't hey man, just play these drums.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You don't
It's
have to
like,
think about the business.
Yeah, and it's like, but that's the reason why they call it the music business.
Right.
And so the music part, that's great, and you could be the greatest musician and have no work.
Yeah.
Because you don't understand the business.
Right.
And then you can be the not so good and decent and be all over the country playing. And I know some musicians like that, and I'm sitting there like, wow, this dude is not really
That good.
I mean, compared to who everybody says is my favorite, but he's working more than the other cat.
Yeah.
You know, even me, you know, and even that too, sometimes we get caught up in playing with other major artists. And so
They go
even
golden
though
handcuffs. I mean, you get locked in.
Man,
Yeah.
because it's either now he's too expensive, he's not available automatically without even calling me and asking me, am I available? They always think you're on the road, and I'm sitting at the crib like, you could have hit me up. You know what I mean? You could have hit me up, you know. And so
Yeah.
it's I mean, you know, it's a hard balance to have that. But yeah, I mean, I want to start, you know, from a musician standpoint, you know, teaching cats like, yo, man, like you have to be your business and like you're saying, be your brand, and you have the power to steer it the way you want it. So someone asked me one time, man, you Ryan Kilgore, why don't you have a deal? And I asked the question, I said, well, am I supposed to be looking for them or are they supposed to be looking for me? You know what I mean? And so, but that was an honest question because, like, well, I've never been at this point in my career before.
Right.
You know what I mean? When I got with Stevie, it was just, yo, let's go on a tour.
Yeah,
Oh
let's
my
go.
God, let's go
Right.
see the world.
Right.
And you're not realizing all the contacts I missed because I wasn't, you know, because maybe I was paying attention to the chick sitting over there instead of the promoter sitting over there, you know, or reaching out before I come and say, hey, who's this guy?
You know
owns
what?
This new jazz
You
club?
know what? On that point, I had to learn that.
Yeah.
Being out with SOS for 12 years, I had to learn that. And the thing is that I'm gonna tell you what wound up being just as important as the contacts is the pictures, because the pictures would tell the story.
Yeah.
That's right.
I didn't have to write nothing down. All I had to do was just take the picture and post that joint, because those pictures are where people, just like with you. Okay, well, you had the video. Now imagine if you didn't have that video.
Yeah.
Well,
when I first started with them, YouTube hadn't really struck out yet.
Right, but that's my whole
So,
point. So the
yeah.
thing is that, you know, you don't have a video, and I'm saying, yeah, he's Ryan Kilgore, yeah, and I'd say all day, yeah, you were Stevie Wonder, but it doesn't have the same impact.
Right.
And so what I'm saying is that I had to learn about marketing myself
Yeah, absolutely.
in this business.
Yeah.
As an engineer,
Yeah.
I had to learn about marketing myself,
Yeah.
you know, saying, okay, well, no, I'm actually out here. We're doing the work, you
Right.
know. I'm taking
Because
pictures.
see now I feel like as an artist, because I've learned and read books, and that's the other thing is reading and all those things. And so now if I'm studying a publicist, you know, I'm gonna hang with a publicist. I'm gonna talk to that publicist, especially somebody on, you know, that's a publicist like for Stevie.
Doing the
I'm,
thing,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm soaking up information like, well, what are you thinking?
Join the
Just-
deal.
yeah. But
And getting that information for free. You ain't coming off no coin for that.
well, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing is now I know how to delegate the job. And that's the reason why I'm trying to get information, not so that I can cut that person out, because someone does that job, and as an artist, I don't need to be the publicist.
Right.
But I do need to know
what a publicist
does and what their responsibility is. So I'm not just hiring and firing and hiring and firing and wasting time. It's like, no, I understand what your ability is. I need you to make sure that all the newspapers know when I get in town. I need you to know, there need to be photographers, like you're saying, pictures, so it can be documented. You know, I need to be on the front page the next morning. Oh my God, Ryan Kilgore was here. So it can be like, oh, yo, he was here. You know, and so the person that missed it say, oh man, he was here. You know, and it changes. I don't need to just go to the venue. I need to go see some people randomly pop up at a library, randomly pop up at a grocery store. You know, that extra work, that grassroots again. You know, Facebook, man, I'm telling you, people like your stuff all the time.
Right.
When Facebook first came out and I put something out, if 200 people liked it, 150 people showed up.
Wow.
Like, you know, you send out an invite
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
say, and you look at the people that say they're coming.
Yeah.
They used to come.
Yeah.
Now people just say I'm going just to say I'm going.
It's like a like.
Yeah.
You say, I'm going is like saying
I like
I
it.
like.
Oh,
Not
man,
I'm
great.
going.
Now I'm
I
going,
like.
but yeah.
You know, and then the thing is that be careful. If I'm going means I'm going is one thing, but I'm going and I'm gonna have to spend money too. That's a whole nother beast.
Yeah.
You know, when you start asking people to spend money and go,
Yeah.
you know, and show up somewhere. You
Right.
know, look, this has been like you. I mean, we're all we all got stuff going on, and we're all dealing with our own issues, and in terms of the whole reinvention thing. One of the things that I'm very it seems to be very interesting to me is right now everybody is learning right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, we've got all these years experience in what we do, and we're learning because this thing is, and going back to what we're talking about, this whole thing of like that first video, this thing is changing so fast. That's what makes the learning so crazy, because you're just trying to catch up, and by the time you catch up, it's going,
you're already behind.
You're still behind. So the music business, let's just give it 5 years. 5 years from now, what do you see? Just because really, that's how you got to play the game. You got to see where you think it's going to be 5 years from now, and then you got to start planting seeds today, so that you can meet wherever it's going to be. Just, I mean, so we're not fortune tellers here, but everybody's got to guess. If we don't guess, we lose. I mean, you got to. I mean, I know that's a crazy question, but I have to ask it. You know, I mean,
you know, honestly, I mean, I could guess, but I really don't know, because, like you're saying, the changes that get made, you know, that are made so often. But again, I guess I'm embracing the old school way of thought. You know, and,
I like that way.
You know, to recycle it, to you know, give the music away. You know, a lot of sense. You know,
that Jerry Garcia kind of vibe to
you
it.
know, so like if the kids are downloading, then every time I go to a school with this new record, I need to have download cards. I need to have free samples or something to say, hey, to encourage them to continue to do the things they've been doing. So some of it, we're not going to be able to change.
What about the musicians who are not recording original material?
That actually, I was going to touch on that when you were asking about the scene. You know, how you go to hear the musicians or whatever. That's a lost art. You know, and it's because of the way radio is played. So if radio is playing,
back to you, Mitch.
If radio are playing these songs, and that's what you go to these clubs, and that's what they're dancing to, and this and the other, then the musician says, "I need to learn that song, that song, that song, that song." Again, now it's almost like you're becoming the machine. So now you're helping to promote non-musicianship by playing someone else's music.
Right.
So what you're saying is that technically, I mean, the industry here in Atlanta would probably change if the musicians just decided that they were going to start recording more material.
Oh my God! You know how many great artists that we have in the city that will not play their own music?
It's crazy.
I mean, one of the things about your own music, and I tell, I've run into artists all the time, recording artists all the time, and I'm gonna say that I'm gonna be done. Recording artists all the time. You're a recording artist. Well, how many songs do you have recorded? I've got 12. So you got 12 songs recorded. Now, mind you, now everybody got a computer at home with something on it, GarageBand, something. They got 12 songs recorded. I said, well, how long you been recording? I've been recording 5, 6, 7 years. You got 12 songs. Now, mind you, now you got artists back in the day. They would put out an album a year.
Yeah.
So you're not talking about just the 12 songs that were on the record,
well,
because how many songs that
labels started
That's right.
regulating that. You know.
Yeah, but the labels ain't around right now, so I'm like, why are you not?
I know, but it's kind of creature of habit, though. You know, it's like, okay, well, I don't want to be too exposed, or you know, this kind of thing. But like you said,
I would say, looking forward, that an artist needs to spend a time every month recording one song, and then have a drop date that he can promote every. If he's on the 5th, I'm dropping something new every month. It's only 12 songs a year.
Right.
Drop on the 5th. Oh man, Ryan Kilgore, you know, every time on the 5th, go to his website, you know he gonna be dropping something new every. Now you got something where your audience is saying, okay,
Get $1 each.
he's giving.
Oh, that's a good one.
yeah,
You know, he's giving something to me. Oh, you know, I mean, don't get me started. Do that. Also, not only are you dropping that one song a month, you're also documenting the process of doing it. Hey, I'm in the studio with Mitch. Mitch is doing a vocal overdub for me, blah, 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 blah. And you drop, there's only 3 seconds with a camera.
Yeah.
And then drop that on Facebook, or you got your Facebook channel, blah, blah, blah. So in other words, not only are they getting material, now they're starting to see the whole background story behind the music. Now and I think that's the thing that has to happen with the music business, that the artists are going to have to give more now than what, you can't just say, okay, well, I'm just going to, you're going to have to deliver on what you say you are. If you are a recording artist, you're going to have to create, you're going to have to record, and you're going to have to deliver. That's the first thing got to happen.
Right.
Then the second thing is you're going to have to pull them in. You're going to have to give them something, like we said back in the day.
Yes.
We had the jackets, right? So we knew what was going. Well, okay, now people ain't reading. They want to see. They want to see the video of the 20-second video where you pulled in whoever musician you got in town that you playing with. You say, oh, O'Teal, okay, O'Teal's playing bass. Okay, boom, I got O'Teal playing bass. We working on the track. A new track is going to drop on the 5th. Check it out. It's going to be blah blah blah.
Right,
so now people, they every day, because it's only 20 seconds.
Yeah.
But it's a big 20 seconds.
Yeah, it is a big 20 seconds. I mean, again, I've been embracing that. We were talking about that outside, about this record and hearing stories